to like themed events. And so it's like basically a full-blown like swinger rave. A lot of EDM music. If you don't like EDM music, I don't know what to tell you, because that's like pretty much all they play. And then they'll also have like playrooms set up at some of these events, which are usually like downstairs right across from the party. But it's just a weekend of just like-minded couples meeting each other. I have not always been this way. Me and my partner were never open before this. We were both previously married. He was married 2 times. I was married 1 time. Neither of our exes are open in any way. We just started this together. And I mean, to be honest, like marriage, like the idea of like religious sense marriage, and like non-monogamy just never really felt like or made sense to me. And so I kind of knew that, like, you know, something was going to happen, I guess, down the road. You said you got cheated on in the lifestyle. I apologize for that. And that really does suck. And this is the problem too, is that, there are people who are not in the lifestyle for the right reasons. And so it does, of course, leave room for people to get hurt and for people to have bad experiences. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, so we actually have 5 total. Him and I both had 1 coming into our relationship, and then we have 3 together. You're starting this journey yourself. I love that. So, I mean, honestly, this is the thing, is that like singles 100% can enter into the lifestyle. Like there's a place for singles. Single men, it's a little bit more difficult. You guys are going to have to pay more money, and you're not as trusted. And I apologize for that, but that is just the facts about how it is. Single women are way more accepted, but there is still a need for single men. Thank you, Rachel. No, please do not go into the lifestyle if you have a failing marriage or a failing relationship. The lifestyle, I think, is geared towards like adding to your relationship. Like it's in addition to, it's not meant to fix any problems that you're having. Like, let's say that you and your partner are you're struggling with intimacy, you're struggling with like connection, and you're thinking about, you're like, what can I do to save my relationship? You could start the concept of like, hey, let's have these open and honest conversations. And, maybe with a lot of therapy and a lot of time, like you guys could get to a point where, hey, let's open up our relationship. But if you guys are already having connection, relationship, intimacy issues, hopping into the lifestyle is only going to maximize those issues. Like that's the best way that I can say it. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that it's not something, it's not a fix. It's not a Band-Aid. It blew up in their face. Sorry, Mikey, what blew up in their face? Hold on. Yeah. So you're saying that you're saying that your cousins went into the lifestyle to try to fix it. You're married with a hall pass. It's kind of similar. Oh, thank you. Hi, Texas. Right. Like you would want to, like, if you as a single are like, hey, I want to give this a try, then you probably would be better off finding connections with other singles in the lifestyle. Like there are tons of people and tons of, like Dan and Lacey, for example, they're like super known within the lifestyle. They were both unicorn and bull. They met and they're married. So it gives mixed singles for cheating. But that's the thing. It's like, if you are not at a point where like you can understand the difference between being a swinger and being a cheater, then the relationship's not, like, the concept, the dynamic is not for you. Hi. Yeah, I know. Richmond, Virginia. But do you have a hall pass from God of the universe? Oh, God. Thanks, Tommy. Look, I'm not here to talk about, like, your morals and your religion and all of these things. Like, no one on earth has to agree with how I live my life. Because no one has, like, I don't know, no one has that right. Right. So we do not always end with each other in the sense of like during a play session, but we do reconnect, like always after it's happened. Reconnection is huge for us. That's something that we learned like pretty early on when we first started Full Swaps, is that like I am a kind of person where I need some form of like reconnection during the experience. So a lot of our experiences are kind of more like fluid. It's not so much where like we cut off, that couple goes there, that couple goes there. It's usually like the four of us, and in some way, shape, or form with like touch or kiss or gaze or something, like we're reconnecting like during the experience, if that makes sense. No, I 100% believe in God. I'm actually a very spiritual person, but again, like I don't discuss it because it makes people angry. And people don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. We do have boundaries. I think our boundaries have gotten a lot more lenient the more that we have been in the lifestyle, because when we first started, our boundaries were like no kissing other couples, no talking outside of group text, no doing certain names. We were basically like a soft swap couple, which means that we didn't go all the way. We didn't go all the way with like other people. And I think that like the more that we had those rules, the more that we kind of allowed ourselves to be like, oh, well, you broke this rule, or, oh, you broke this rule. Instead of saying like, oh, well, I don't really care with this person, but with this person, I would mind, if that makes sense. So I feel like once we started it being just a case by case or like a person by person basis, it kind of helped us more, because now it's like, okay, we'll like go into an event and let's say there's like, the first night is like the meet and greet, and we're like, see people downstairs, and we'll instantly communicate with each other like, hey, I have my eye on this person. I really like this couple. How do you feel about this? And then we just kind of talk it out, so that like, let's say 2 days after talking to them, I see him kissing the girl that he had pointed out to me at first. I'm not going to be like on guard or upset, because we've talked about it and like he's expressed his interest. And so like that, I think staying on the same page like that just kind of makes it easier. Have we been in any uncomfortable situations? I mean, not so much. If you ever feel jealous, go get some money. I agree. Spiritual and religious is very different. I'm like somewhere right in the middle. No, I don't. So I think that we did not change our boundaries because we couldn't follow our boundaries. I think we changed our boundaries because we both wanted more. Like we wanted to kind of like explore things more. For example, like we were never really like a full swap couple, and like we pretty much only like where I played with women and he played with men. And now that we've like been in the lifestyle and we've been exploring that side of ourselves, like I said earlier, I have such a craving of seeing him with other women, and he's slowly working his way to seeing me with other men. Like, he's a man. He's more protective. He's more like, the people that you're with, I want to make sure are good people. Like, he doesn't want to just like throw me out there in the wolves and be like, have fun with her. So like, I think it's more like we are wanting to explore more within ourselves, not so much like, oh, we can't follow our own boundaries. If that makes sense. Unrelated. Oh, thanks. It's a Chevy Traverse. High country. So we got into the lifestyle because we wanted to explore our sexuality. We're both bi. He came out as bi to me like a year and a half into our relationship. And then I was kind of like, well, I've always known that I was bi-situational, and I wanted to explore that more. Neither of us have ever had the opportunity to explore that, so we were like, why don't we open up our relationship and explore our sexuality? That was kind of how it started. No, race does not matter. We are so open to everybody, and we're like vibe people. So if we meet you and we can have a conversation, it truly doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, if you've seen any of our content, like, I think you know that, like, we are all based off of, like, connection, you know? Like, I think that the people that we meet and the people that we, like, that we make connections with are such beautiful souls that, like, it doesn't even matter what people look like. Oh, gosh. We have boundaries. I just explained them earlier. Like I said, anyone who has questions, I'm going to make a little Instagram question box, and I'll answer all the questions today throughout the day. So just follow me on Instagram. It's LoveRunXO. He could have been bi. So that's the thing, is that, like, I think that men have a harder time exploring that side of themselves because there's such a stigma, and I think that they feel ashamed. And people, like, that's the thing. I mean, people are rude. Like, it doesn't make it any better how people react. Like, if you guys go on my Instagram and you look at the most recent video that me and my husband posted, like, about my husband being bi, the comments in that video are disgusting. So it's like, seeing that as, like, a bi-curious man, I mean, hell no, you're not going to want to, like, speak out and be open about wanting to explore your sexuality, because society is crazy. I mean, they make it difficult, and they totally do feel shame. Like, it is way more acceptable for me to be married to a man and be bisexual and want to explore with women because of society thinking that it's hot, or that it's, like, what more people are into. But for men, I feel bad for them. That's true too. Like, there are so many women who are biphobic for men. And I think that that's insane, because I would pick a man who is more secure in himself and his sexuality over, like, some man that was saying, like, some man that was, you know, a homophobe. No offense. Like, I would pick a man who's confident and comfortable in his sexuality. Anyone who's, like,